Georges Chavez, the winning rider for John Ward Jr. by the Wavering Monarch sire Mariah's Mon out of a Dixieland band mare, came into this race with a second behind Congaree in the Wood Memorial. Run prior was successful in the Florida Derby, and what a comfortable win that was in the Kentucky Derby. The Grey Colt by Mariah's Mon and owned by John Oxley. And as I mentioned, last start placed in the Wood Memorial. Lifetime record now reads 7. For 4 wins, 1 second and 1 third. Now looms up on the outside of Congaree, which looked to have the race in its keeping. It just turned for home. The Stoneside's stable representative with Victor Espinosa in the saddle. The favourite, that's it in 4th position. Now the times, they went through the mile in 1:35 neat, 3/4 1:09.25. That's 1,200 metres. It's a good time. Half mile, we just missed that time. Now from the start, the eventual winner, Monarchos, out in 16, came flying across with the gold colours, gold and blue quartered cap from the, it's the second from left of screen. We just saw the start there briefly, but in the home stretch just looms up, and Georges Chavez has a ton of horse underneath him and a career's away for a comfortable win. So we'll be back shortly with the presentation, the Garland of Roses, and what an impressive victory. The 16 Monarchos. And here we go. There's the horse, registered as a grey, born February 3 years ago, and he wins America's #1 horse race, the Run for the Roses, the 127th version. Now in America, that horse was a noted easer in the past 24 hours. So he looks pretty happy, doesn't he? Georges Chavez with 16 Monarchos. Full placings will confirm for you in just a moment. Well, before we come back for the presentations of this year's Run for the Roses, we were hoping that one of the 2 Thunder Gulch nominations would have been successful, including Point Given, which just tied over the final furlong. Thunder Gulch himself was the first Kentucky Derby winner to shuttle to stud in Australia, as we take a look at this imposing son of Gulch.
Thunder Gulch was one of the brightest stars in modern American racing. His amazing deeds as a 3-year-old are part of racing folklore, and now he's proving a smash hit with breeders down under.
He's the first ever Kentucky Derby winner to come to stud here. They've never had one as good as him. Wayne Lucas called him the best 3-year-old in the history of American racing. He was second in the middle leg of the Triple Crown, but for which he would have been the first Triple Crown winner in 20 years in America, since affirmed. He won $3 million as a 3-year-old, so he's as good a racehorse as has ever come to stud in Australia.
It's a story that spans the globe. Thunder Gulch was selected by Ireland's Demi O'Byrne for high-profile owner Michael Tabor. The Englishman transferred the horse to the stables of top American trainer D. Wayne Lucas, and there was no stopping the classy chestnut.
Now here, battling with Thunder Gulch on the outside. Oliver's Twist is running a brave race today. Jambalaya Jazz on the far outside. Down to the final furlong. Thunder Gulch, Suave Prospect, shoulder to shoulder. They've been brushing each other through the stretch, and it's Thunder Gulch driving on the lead. Suave Prospect, brave at the inside. Those 2 nip and tuck down to the line. Thunder Gulch won it in a brave and determined effort.
From the Fountain of Youth to the Florida Derby, a race won by past greats Northern Dancer, Swale and Spectacular Bid. Thunder Gulch again showed his fighting qualities in his first taste of Group 1 success.
Thunder Gulch is running second as they come down to the last furlong. It's Suave Prospect. Bailey's all over him, trying to get a 7th win today, but Mike Smith will have something to say about that. Here comes Thunder Gulch. Those 2 inseparable down the line, unwavering. Here's the finish. It's very tight, too close to call.
The Kentucky Derby stands alone at the pinnacle of American racing, and the Run to the Roses is where legends are born. 1995 was no exception. Thunder Gulch announcing the arrival of racing's latest star.
Gulch with the white blinkers and Gary Stevens aboard has something to say about this Derby as they turn for home a little more than a quarter of a mile to go. Serena Song desperate to hang on between horses. Talking Man on the inside, but Thunder Gulch emerges with the lead, and Thunder Gulch with Gary Stevens takes command. Talking Man along the inside, and now here comes Tahano Run, and in the middle of the racetrack, it's Eltish along with Jumrun, and down the stretch they come in the Derby, and here's the winner. It's Thunder Gulch. Lucas wins it with the lesser of the three horses he trained. How about
The American Triple Crown has not been achieved since 1978, and it eluded Thunder Gulch when he finished third in the second leg, the Preakness. He then proved how close he came to the fabled trifecta with another dominant display in the Belmont.
on the outside, it's Thunder Gulch. On the inside, it's Star Standard. Looks like Star Standard is trying to get out through the stretch, but Thunder Gulch puts a head in front, and down the stretch they come to Belmont. A two-horse race for the wire. Thunder Gulch on the outside with Gary Stevens inching away. Star Standard set the fractions. It's going to be second. Here's the finish. Thunder Gulch by 2.
Thunder Gulch continued on his winning way, defeating 3-year-olds and older horses alike. In the Travers Stakes at Saratoga, he became the first colt to win the Kentucky Derby, Belmont and Travers Treble since 1942.
Pyramid Peak running the race of his life, but he's second, and Malthus is a closing third. Composer flattens out, and it will be Thunder Gulch, the 126th winner of the Travers.
A hairline fracture of his left fore cannon bone forced the superstar's early retirement. But racing's loss was breeding's gain, especially for Australia. We now have access to the brilliant racehorse.
I was shaking up the knees. Could I come again, please? Yeah, the ladies want to come.
He's a very powerful horse. He's very well balanced, neat, good-legged. Basically, you'd say that I guess he's 16 hands, beautifully proportioned. He's actually bigger than he looks because he's so well proportioned.
Thunder Gulch is by Gulch, a leading sire in the States with a number of Group 1 winners, including Wallenda and Torrential, both now at stud in Australasia.
Well, Gulch was a champion sprinter of America, a champion sprinter miler actually, and he's a son of Mr. Prospector. Now, Mr. Prospector at the moment is taking all before him. He's the sire of Fusaichi Pegasus, the $70 million horse that won this year's Kentucky Derby. Mr. Prospector has been something like 8 times champion sire. At the recent Keeneland July sales, he had the sale topper. He's got the best horse in Canada, Scatter the Gold, at the moment. Mr. Prospector, next to Northern Dancer, is the best stallion in the world. So they don't, sire lines don't come any better.
Thunder Gulch also has a wonderful American family, which features an influential sire on the dam side.
Well, he's out of a mare by Stormbird, a group mare by Stormbird. Stormbird is the sire of Stormcat. Now, Stormcat is currently the most popular young sire in the world, as topping all the sales currently at Keeneland September. They've just paid $6 million yesterday for a son of Stormcat. And the Stormbird line is really taking all before it. So this is a powerful combination, Mr. Prospector on Stormbird.
Thunder Gulch had his first Australian progeny racing in 1999 and found immediate success. His first crop producing 4 stakes-winning 2-year-olds.
50 Sparks on the inside, Aspen Star in the centre, De France on the outside trying hard to get to them, and then came Marauder down the centre of the track. He's coming home pretty well. Sparks is wanting to whoosh the tail. Marauder's coming at him. Sparks in front up against the paint. He's going to be too good. He wants to whoosh the tail again near the line, but he wins. And the Thunder Gulch filly had stormed to the front. 2 lengths away, Southern Jazz and Hot Dancer running on well. Miss Thunderstood in front. Desiree Lass is a game little thing. She's kicking, but Miss Thunderstood's in front of Desiree Lass from the tail of the field. But Trill is rattling home for third, but Miss Thunderstood's in front and she's punched right out. She's too good, wins a half length to Desiree Lass.
It's Undertone going to Anatomy, 2 to Reflexes, trying to reel them in at the 200. Anatomy responding to Price's hard riding. Undertone the outside under Hands and Hills riding. It's Anatomy and Undertone clear of Reflexes. places. Anatomy doing enough though, and the Thunder Gulch filly wins.
Vampire's now starting to hit top gear from Reed Renker, but Clonmel's in front. Vampire starting to whoosh home. Clonmel in front. Vampire closing too late. Clonmel hangs on and wins a long neck.
I think it was a bit of a surprise more than anything else. We thought there would be late developing 2-year-olds that would be better as at three. And fortunately he had 4 stakes winners as a 2-year-old sire. So it was a good result for him. And obviously, we'd hope now they're going to be trained to be very, very good 3-year-olds this year.
Thunder Gulch's ability as a sire of 2-year-olds was a pleasant surprise for connections at Coolmore, who expect his progeny will be even better at 3. That's holding true in the States, where his 3-year-olds are prominent in the classics.
He already has an Oaks winner. A filly called Spain won the Monmouth Oaks by 5 lengths. He had a second in the Arlington Oaks, a filly called Instinct. That's the big thing about him. He was a sensational 3-year-old. What his crop of 2-year-olds did last year was a real bonus. The likes of Sparks, Clonmel, Restless, and that lot, Anatomy, Misunderstood, were not expected to be 2-year-olds. I know that Gay would expect Clonmel to come out and be a classic 3-year-old. Last year, Thunder Gulch's 2-year-olds made him the leading 2-year-old sire by percentages of winners and stakes winners to runners, ahead of Danehill, Flying Spur, the lot. That was a remarkable achievement. The best is yet to come, as I think you'll see with this year's classic races.
Thunder Gulch certainly looks at home in his Coolmore paddock, and it's testament to the horse's nature that he copes so well with the rigours of shuttling.
Oh, he's wonderful. This horse has a great temperament. Like Danehill, he takes everything in his stride. He's travelled to Japan. He's stood in America. He's come over here. He's gone from here to Japan and back to here. He has the most wonderful temperament. Wayne Lucas, his trainer, made that point about him and said nothing fazed him.
Is just too classy. Thunder Gulch won it in a brave and determined effort.
In '95, they were thunderstruck at Churchill Downs when Thunder Gulch won the Derby. This year, his 2 runners, well, one went to the protest room. Invisible Ink was unsuccessful, as you saw during that story. And Luke Krybosch came through and said, the inquiry is off, placing stand. The protest is not allowed, to use his words exactly. And there are happy connections of Monarchos, the Mariah's Mon winner. And there is the horse with the crossover noseband. Soon the big Garland of Roses, one of the great traditions of this great race, will be enacted here at this beautiful place, Churchill Downs, under those famed twin spires. Now the placing 16, 13 and 8. John Velasquez, the rider of the Thunder Gulch 3-year-old Invisible Ink, went to the stewards and he protested that he was checked or blocked just after turning for home. The protest was not allowed, as we heard. And there is the winning rider, Jorge Chavez, aboard Monarchos, sporting the gold cap. In America, they call those colours gold and blue blocks, and white stripes on the sleeves as well. So shortly the Garland of Roses will be placed over the wither of this 3-year-old, registered as a grey. And again, Georges, he's pretty low key at this stage, but he was pretty happy after the race. And now the Garland of Roses, here we go. They're coming under the position in front of all of the owners. One of the great moments in the world of racing. And Monarchos, here he goes into the enclosure area. And here's the Garland of Roses. And that's why they call it the Run for the Roses. A filly called Flute was successful by Seattle Slew on the Kentucky Oaks Friday. This race takes place every May, the first Saturday in May, and have a look at that. Great scenes. Jorge Chavez. No shortage of roses there. The winning trainer, John Ward Jr., out of a Dixieland band mare. Lifetime record now, 4 wins from 7 starts and 2 minor placings. So Jorge Chavez takes the honours in this year's running of the race. And as far as former winning jockeys are concerned in the run for the Roses. We've seen a few throughout the previews earlier on today. The most wins, well, Gary Stevens is up there in the top few, but Georges Chavez. It's his day today, and for him, that's his first winner of the Kentucky Derby. So that is what happened the 1st May Saturday in America, Sunday morning our time, and the 127th edition of this time-honoured race. The Garland of Roses there, the winning trainer John T. Ward Jr., Georges Chavez, the winning rider. That's our Kentucky Derby coverage. Shortly, remember, When Racing Retro at 9 o'clock this morning. So we'll leave you with this year's running of the Derby, and from the second from outside gate, the winner proving too strong, Monarchos, defying a challenge in the inquiry room from Invisible Ink. Thanks for your company and hope to see you soon.
It's Congaree past the quarter pole in front by 1. Point Given attacking in second. Monarchos unleashing a rally on the far outside. That Express Tour down to the final furlong they go. Congaree's got the lead. Victor Espinoza riding for his life. Monarchos trying to run him down to the outside. Final furlong. Congaree. Monarchos pushing on by to take the lead. Monarchos and Jorge Chavez going clear. And Monarchos wins the Kentucky Derby. He won it going away. Then Congaree in second. Invisible Link ran third, and finishing fourth was Thunder.